I'd like to welcome you to Current Teaching Practices, Teaching Leadership 850. This is one of my favorite classes, and I've taught it for a number of years and always learn something new each time we teach it. Uh, there's 6 things you always want to know on the first day of school. I always want to know these things. And I'll try to answer these for you in this quick intro video. My first question I always want to know, how do you get through the course? How do you navigate? And in this case, how do you navigate Kansas? What text am I going to be using? What type of teacher do I have? What am I going to be doing in the course? And I always wanted to know the big question, how do I get an A? And is there anything I'm going to learn in this course that I can really use in my life or my classroom? Well, to answer the first question, to navigate the course, you first go to the home page, and there it lists almost everything you need to know to really start the course. The home page will have all of the announcements, which I'll make each week, and so you can read those either in the email or the top of the home page. The syllabus page is the next page. Here you'll find the course syllabus. You ought to download it and read it, and you can even watch the syllabus introduction video on the page. So syllabus page is kind of important because even below on the syllabus page you'll have all of the policies that Pittsburgh State has us follow, and then even below that you'll have a list of all of your assignments, and even will track your grades. So syllabus page is a big one. The announcements that we mentioned will appear under announcements as well as the home page, and that's the third area that you ought to look at. These I try to keep you informed of what happened in the last module and what's going to be upcoming in the future modules. The announcements will give you feedback, like we said on the previous modules, and tell you what the objectives are for the next one and what you should be doing to successfully complete that module. On the module pages, which is the fourth area on your navigation bar, you'll find all of the modules listed there. And all you have to do is click on the top little arrow, and there'll be a drop-down menu of all the things that you need to successfully complete that module. The very first thing you see is the Things to Do page. Here it will again list the objectives and suggest the activities that you should follow, and it even keeps track of your progress on a little navigation bar up there at the top. Again, you do not have to watch everything. In fact, you can't because there's so much included in this course. But there are some required videos. These are narrated videos. If you already kind of know most of the information in that topic, you might just scan them because I also list right below the video just the slides, and sometimes just looking through the slides will help you. There are supplemental videos listed. There's quite a lot of them in some of the modules, so you can look at the ones that you think would help you, especially if you don't have a good background in that subject. The required articles are also listed. It'll tell you to view them, but there are other articles that just may capture your interest that you don't need to read if you feel confident in that area. At the very bottom of the module, you'll see the activity drop box for the activities, as well as the discussion board drop box at the very bottom. The discussion page, when you see that drop box, you'll find that you'll always be given at least 4 questions to choose from. You only answer one, and then you respond to at least 5 others. The next item in your navigation bar is people. This will allow you to see uh, who the people are in your class. You're going to meet each other on the first discussion board through personal introduction. And then you can see them face to face on a Zoom session that we'll have usually the second week of the course. When you introduce yourself in the very first module, try to tell us a little bit about yourself that you feel comfortable sharing, your school, your grade, your subject. If you're teaching, a little brief history, whatever you want to share about you. And then end with one true and one false statement about you so we can guess it. It kind of gives us a handle to remember you by. So do that. In the second week, I'll be sending you a notification to attend a Zoom meeting. It's not required. It's if you want to attend, that's fine. It's sort of a meet and greet session where we'll see what each other looks like, and you'll be able to answer any questions that you want answered about the course. The second thing I always want to know about when I went to a course is the text. This text is free. I tried to hammer out a text so you wouldn't have to buy one. It's located here at this location, and the home page tells you all about it too, but you can also find the text in each of the modules. It is usually the second thing right after the things to do. You can just download that section that you're going to read for that module instead of reading the entire book. The third thing I always want to know is who's this guy that's teaching this class. Well, you can find out about me by watching the Life and Times of Kent Runyon. It's sort of a humorous introduction about me, and if you want a more serious background, you can look at the academic background, the things I've done over my 50 years in education. As a person, see if you can answer my true and false questions when you watch the video. Here is my office address as well as my cell phone. Use the cell to call me if you need anything, or here is my email address. Use that if you have any questions and want to answer through email. So what are you going to be doing in this class? Well, it's a 3-hour course, and a lot of times I'll be changing, adding up new ideas, new methodologies, new perspectives. But we're going to explore classroom practices that really are research-based to make you more effective. You'll be reading 8 chapters in this course. There'll be usually 7 or 8 activities in each chapter reading activities section. And you'll do 7 discussion boards where other people will chime in on your responses to the question you picked to answer. And then some minor things. We'll give you a course quiz that just at the very beginning. It's only worth 10 points, but to make sure that you understand how the course operates and what's going to happen. You're going to evaluate me in the course activities, and that's at the end of the course. You take a little teacher oath. It gives you sort of an orientation to this course, and as well as what good teachers do in their profession. If you feel like you need to, if you want to, you can take the final exam. It's worth 12 extra credit points, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. But that's the assignments basically for this class. To talk about them specifically, the chapter activities, after you read all of the material that you want in each of the modules, you'll be asked to do at least 8 activities usually in each, and they're varied according to what the module is covering. But always in most of them, you'll find you're going to explore a number of maxims in the text, and then we're going to ask you to write one of your own there at the end of the course or at the end of the module to tell me in one sentence what you learned. In the chapter activities also at the very end, you'll have 5 quick reads that you'll share with us where you'll list the title and in one sentence tell us how you might use that in your classroom. To find those quick read articles or briefs or blog posts, uh, they're right underneath each module, and all you got to do is click on it and you'll find probably 30, 40 articles. You choose 5 of them that seem of interest to you. You don't have to read them all, but uh, they're kind of interesting. They usually take you about 5 minutes. When you read, if you find something that you want to explore it more, you just click on the blue highlighted areas and it will take you to uh, that topic that was highlighted. When you submit your activities, your download basically the template, and the template will be shown for you on the Dropbox page, and then you write on it. It's a word processing program, and then you submit it, and it will tell you that you submitted it correctly. So you download the Word file, and the rest you just type right in and then resubmit it. Discussion boards, again, you will choose from 4 questions, and right underneath there is where you'll find the place where you add your answers and then post to other people's responses. But always try to do at least 5 responses to other people. It makes it interesting when we read other people's perspectives. When you write your discussion board response, usually they're asking you for 1 paragraph, and I love this 3.8 paragraph structure. You do not have to use it, but it gives you an idea of how you might construct some of your responses. In a 3.8 paragraph, your first sentence is your topic sentence, where you will state exactly your belief, and then or your topic, and then the second, third sentences you write about your first supporting first topic. The fourth and fifth sentences is your second topic, and your third and fourth sentences is your third topic, and then you conclude with an ending sentence. So it's sort of 3-8, where you tell them what you're going to tell them, you tell them, and you tell them what you told them. And then when you respond to others, I'd love for you to use the 3CQ format, where you compliment that person on something, you comment on it, whether or not you agree or disagree, and then also connect it to something else, and maybe end with a question. So instead of just saying, yeah, I like your idea, keep it up, I want you to do more than that, and try to create a discussion. Well, the third and fourth things you do are the course quiz, which will quiz you on basically this intro video in your syllabus. And then at the end of the course, you evaluate the activities you did as well as me. And then last, you take the teacher's oath. You just watch the video and answer 1 question, and you're fine. The extra credit exam, I used to give this. We're going to cut it out for this course and make it extra credit. This course is outcomes-based, constructed, and so it will test the major objectives of the course that are lower-level knowledge-based types of information. So it's 50 questions. It's a timed exam, and you will have a cheat sheet, which we call the STAD review sheet. I'll be giving that to you near the end of the class, and so if you want to take the test, use that sheet also to take the test. It is sort of a summary of all of the things that you should have learned within the class. When you turn these things in, I spend a lot of time reading them. I'll read everything you submit, and I'll give you a narrative evaluation and also use a rubric to evaluate you. So one of the last things I wanted to know is anything I'm going to learn in this class I can use in my life? You're going to judge that and even evaluate that in the last course evaluation. A couple of pieces of advice that I would give you: if you're going to be late in submitting your assignment, just tell me. Life happens. I understand that. Most of you are teaching, so but keep me informed. Because this is an online class, there's really no attendance, but attendance is considered and defined by the completion of assignments. So stay on top of the due dates and get them in on time. If one assignment period goes by and you haven't turned anything in, you haven't had any contact with me, I'll try to get in contact with you before dropping you from class. So stay in, or I may drop you in class. Stay in touch with me. I always suggest that if this is your first online class, that you discipline yourself to set a time period in your week that you can spend enough time to complete the module assignments. When you respond to other students or interact with me and turn in your different positions, be respectful. I want you to be professional and act in a collaborative way to learn. To end, normally in a modular cycle, you read the announcement, you read the text first, and you watch the required video, and then you download the template and start answering those questions. You could use some of the quick reads to help you document or add information. And then you post your paragraph on the discussion page that you're going to respond to, and also submit the chapter activities. And then as people respond to you, answer those responses and respond to others. So in essence, the design of the course builds upon reading, watching, analyzing, and responding to different issues and trends in current teaching practices. I plan to have a real good time with you. I enjoy seeing what is happening in your classroom, and I'll share with you what the research is telling us is working. So let's get started and learn about current teaching practices.